So many people want to look younger and have healthier looking skin. I completely understand that. I am one of those people myself, but I see way too many people trying to focus on reducing fine lines and wrinkles than reducing pigmentation. It's actually the pigmentation itself that really ages your skin. We start accumulating pigmentation in our infancy when we are extremely young, so it's only natural that the older we get, the more pigmentation that we get, and therefore we associate pigmentation with looking older. The more pigmentation we have, the older we look. But what if we could reduce or get rid of that pigmentation altogether? In this video, we're going to focus on tried and tested ingredients and treatments that you can perform in the comfort of your own home to make that pigmentation fade away. A lot of people think that hyperpigmentation is actually bad skin. It's not at all. It's your skin doing what it does naturally to protect itself. So hyperpigmentation happens when your skin produces too much melanin. It does this because it's triggered by sun exposure, acne or inflammation, heat, hormones, or skin trauma, or a lot of the above. Once the skin is inflamed, melanocytes go into defense mode and overproduce that pigment, which gets trapped in the deeper layers of the skin. This is why hyperpigmentation often fades slowly. It is not a quick fix, and hyperpigmentation can reoccur if your skin is triggered again. To treat pigmentation successfully, you need to do all of the following things. Number one, stop excessive melanin production. Very, very important. Number two, block melanin transfer. Equally as important. Number three, break up existing pigmentation that is present. Number four, speed up cell turnover. And number five, and the thing that I think is the most important, is to prevent any future damage. If you're not going to do this, you may as well just not do any of the other stuff. Generally, you need a whole system of products to fight pigmentation successfully, and that doesn't mean you need a 10-step skincare routine. That's definitely not what I'm saying, but generally you need more than one product to fight it successfully. And you may have felt like you've done absolutely everything you can to even your skin tone and nothing really helps. You've tried those glow booster drops, you've tried exfoliating masks, you've tried brightening toners, and your skin may look better for a few days, but nothing really shifts those dark spots. That's because those products only work on the surface of the skin, and the pigmentation lives really, really deep. Let's just touch on in-clinic treatments for a second, because dermatologists can use really powerful tools that really can make a difference. In fact, this is probably the fastest way that you're going to see a reduction in your pigmentation. However, there are trade-offs. The price is one of them, the time is another one, and some of these treatments can actually be quite painful as well. Lasers are probably the fastest way that you're going to see a reduction in your pigmentation. Lasers use heat to break down the pigment in your skin, and although they are incredibly powerful, they're also really, really expensive. There can also be a little bit of downtime after the treatment, and some lasers aren't recommended for those with a deeper skin tone. Chemical peels, also a great treatment. These remove the pigmented layers of the skin. However, this can cause a lot of irritation, a little bit of pain, and there's lots of downtime with this treatment. And finally, professional microneedling. Now, I have been the biggest fan and advocate of microneedling, and I've been doing it on myself for the longest time, and I've seen the benefits with my very own two eyes. I wouldn't be without it. Microneedling can not only speed up cell turnover, but it can also stimulate collagen and pigment renewal. It's not going to be for everybody though. It is a pricey process, and you have to be consistent, which means you have to schedule your appointments in clinic, travel to those appointments, have those appointments as and when they are needed, which isn't always going to be accessible for everyone. However, if you are wanting to experience microneedling safely in your own home, I definitely recommend the QURE Micro-Infusion system. And if you are suffering with a lot of pigmentation on your skin, this system can definitely help reduce that pigmentation, especially if you opt for the dark spots treatment to go along with that micro-infusion. Micro-Infusion system. QURE's system uses medical grade microneedles at pre-measured depths, so you're never guessing or going too deep and actually damaging the skin. They're also extremely sterile. You're creating microchannels in the skin, stimulating skin renewal, breaking up pigment clusters, and allowing the actives to penetrate much, much deeper into your skin. The QURE Dark Spot Serum is designed specifically for pigmentation, so you're not only getting the benefits of the microneedling, you're also getting a targeted treatment to target excess melanin, to calm inflammation, and to speed up cell turnover. When you're using microneedling, absorption increases dramatically, actually up to 300% more penetration compared to topical use alone. And because QURE is designed for home safety, you can achieve professional style results without clinical risk or downtime. There is a little bit of discomfort when you're doing the procedure. I wouldn't say it was painful, but some people would say it's uncomfortable, and it definitely does make me sneeze, so just be aware of that. You may sneeze quite a lot when you're doing the treatment. There also may be some redness after you've completed the treatment, but that does tend to reduce over the next couple of hours. This video is sponsored by QURE, and that has its perks for you because QURE have agreed to hold my 70% discount on their micro-infusion devices. So click on the link in the description box. It will take you through. Use my code 70% off. I mean, that is a saving. Let's also touch on LED therapy. Again, a huge fan of LED therapy, and I have seen masses of success in not just me, but also my mum as well. LED therapy is a game changer for pigmentation, as is microneedling. So we need to talk about it just a little bit. For me, LED therapy didn't just even out my skin tone, it also helped to prevent new dark spots from forming over time. If you don't want to spend a lot of money, however, if you don't want to invest in the QURE micro-infusion system or an LED mask, then these ingredients will seriously help to fade those dark spots. Before we start, I just want to mention that I'm not going to mention prescription treatment. So in the UK, that means hydroquinone, which is very successful at reducing dark spots and pigmentation, but you have to have breaks in between, and it has to be regulated by a doctor. And also tretinoin, which in the UK is also a prescription treatment. Both of these treatments are phenomenal for hyperpigmentation, but we're just going to be focusing on the ones that you can do safely at home and buy off the shelf. Let's jump into the big guns and talk about retinoids. Now, retinoids in general are the gold standard of anti-aging, that be reducing fine lines and wrinkles and reducing pigmentation. There's so much evidence surrounding the success of this particular ingredient, and retinoids come in all different forms. The one that I would highly recommend is retinal or retinaldehyde. Retinal is seriously potent. However, it has been considered to be a more gentle alternative to retinol. Even though it's more potent than retinol and you're going to get those results a little bit faster, it actually works in a more gentle way. So retinal is where I would start, and retinal comes in so many different strengths. There is going to be one for everyone. Retinoids work by speeding up cell turnover to reduce and fade dark marks. They are very, very good at it. So I'm going to give you a little bit of a recommendation of product for every single ingredient. So my retinoid one, I really like retinoids from several different companies. You have the Dermatica retinoids, which are retinal at lots of different strengths. You also have the Medicate brand, which does retinols at lots of different strengths, and Geek and Gorgeous. I don't think you can go wrong with any of these brands. They are all superb. So I will link these in the description box for you and put links to them all, but they are all superb and they will all work very similarly. Tranexamic acid is another great ingredient. Tranexamic acid actually interrupts the melanin pathways to stop that melanin from getting to where it needs to go to create the dark spot. So really beneficial. However, there is some suggestion that tranexamic acid is slightly too large a molecular structure to actually get deep enough into the skin to penetrate the skin to do what it needs to do. So bear that in mind. Every single ingredient that I'm going to mention, I'm going to give you a standalone treatment where you can just get that ingredient in that treatment. However, later on in this video, I'm going to be giving you some of my best multi-serums that involve multiples of these ingredients to target lots of different things in one different product. So the one for tranexamic acid that I'm going to recommend to you is from the INQUIRIES list. This has vitamin C and tranexamic acid in there, so it is going to help to brighten the skin and actually to prevent more spots from coming in the future. Niacinamide. Now this is a love it or a hate it ingredient. I personally love it. My mum wouldn't be without it. I mean, she gets palpitations if she's getting down to 3 bottles in her drawer. So niacinamide blocks the pigment transfer. It also strengthens the skin barrier as well, which means it's a very, very beneficial ingredient. Some people don't like it in high strengths, however, so some people will get a bit of irritation. 10% from the ordinary is absolutely fantastic, but again, niacinamide will work at relatively low levels, and we're talking about between 2 and 4% here, so you don't need a lot of it to get the benefits. If you want to go for the ordinaries, niacinamide 10% plus zinc 1%, it's a great formula, but you don't need to go that high in strength. Alpha-arbutin is a phenomenal ingredient for reducing pigmentation because it suppresses melanin production. It doesn't just stop the melanin from getting to where it needs to go, it actually stops the production of melanin production. So it is a great ingredient to have in your skincare routine. If you're looking for a serum with just alpha-arbutin in it, then there is another one from The Ordinary, the alpha-arbutin 2%. Great product, really nice consistency. I like it a lot. Kojic acid is another ingredient that is really good for reducing pigmentation. However, it's one that I would team with other ingredients rather than having a standalone product with just kojic acid in, which very, very few and far between. There used to be a soap with kojic acid in that was just everywhere for a little bit, but I personally wouldn't recommend that in your skincare routine. So I would probably put kojic acid in with other ingredients. Now, kojic acid inhibits the enzyme that triggers melanin production. So a little bit similar to alpha-arbutin, but not as heavy duty. I think we've all heard of vitamin C. I think vitamin C comes up whenever you're talking about trying to even the skin tone, trying to brighten the skin, trying to give you that lovely glow from within look. Vitamin C is incredibly good at reducing dark spots and pigmentation. It brightens and protects from pigment triggers. It's very, very good at what it does. For me, my favorite vitamin C at the moment is the Medicate C Tetra Advanced. I absolutely love it. Not only does it have a real punch of vitamin C in there, it's also very gentle, and my skin is very sensitive to vitamin C. Vitamin C tends to irritate my skin, gives me a lot of inflammation, breakouts, blackheads, just dryness and just flakiness in general. So I wasn't a huge fan of vitamin C until quite recently, in the last couple of years, when much more gentle versions of vitamin C without pure L-ascorbic acid in them have become available, and now, huge fan, huge. The unsung hero for me for pigmentation reduction is azelaic acid. I adore the ingredient azelaic acid because it's super gentle, but it seriously does do a double whammy on pigmentation pigmentation and just relieving any stress and irritation in general. Azelaic acid reduces inflammation and pigmentation. It can also reduce redness on the skin as well. If you're wanting a serum with just azelaic acid in, there is one from Skin and Me called the Brighten and Boost. There's also a serum from Paula's Choice, the Azelaic Acid 10% Booster. Let's talk about the non-negotiable, and that is sunscreen. I'm going to say it again, I've banged on about this so many times. If you are going to invest in your skincare and you are not wearing a sunscreen on a daily basis, don't waste your money, because your skincare isn't going to be able to work to the best of its ability, and you're not preventing future damage from happening because you're not wearing an SPF. So yeah, it's non-negotiable. It is a must. My favorite SPF is from Medicate. It's the Advanced Day Ultimate Protect. I absolutely love it. It acts as my moisturizer as well as my SPF. I just think it is absolutely beautiful. However, if you are wanting targeted treatments that have multiple ingredients in, we've gone through all of the products that just have one ingredient in, and those ingredients are superb at reducing pigmentation. If you're wanting something that is going to have multiple ingredients in to target multiple layers of pigmentation, these are my top picks. So I have my list. Dr. Sam's Flawless Brightly includes azelaic acid, niacinamide, and vitamin C. This is such a great serum. It is more like a cream. It is beautiful on the skin, and my daughter uses it every single day, morning and night, because it's not only powerful, but it's also super gentle. And to top it all off, there is no fragrance and no essential oils in there, so it's suitable for a sensitive skin as well. The Dr. Sam's Flawless Nightly is also a great serum that contains niacinamide, granactive retinoid, and azelaic acid, so it's a great one to use in the evening. Beatrice, my daughter, doesn't need this yet, which is why she uses the Flawless Brightly in the morning and in the evening. But if you are after that rejuvenated skin, I would recommend Flawless Brightly in the morning, Flawless Nightly at night. Dermatica also have a dark spot corrector, which is phenomenal. This contains 1% kojic acid. It's also got glycolic acid in there, 3% tranexamic acid, and also licorice root, which is known to reduce pigmentation over time in a very, very gentle way. This is a great dark spot treatment if you're wanting to have multiple ingredients in one serum and you're just wanting to knock it out the park and that's all you're going to use. This is a really good one. A very similar serum is from Remedy. It's their dark spot serum, and it's another great one. This one has kojic acid, mandelic acid to exfoliate the surface of the skin in a very gentle way, because that's a PHA, not an AHA. It's tranexamic acid in there as well, niacinamide, and also licorice root. So again, lots of ingredients to target that pigmentation. I have tried that myself and I absolutely love it. If you're wanting a hit of vitamin C and azelaic acid, I would definitely recommend the Trini London Naked Ambition. That is what is in my skincare routine at the moment that I use in the morning. Very good at evening out the skin tone and reducing those dark marks. I love it. And again, very gentle. So I really hope you found this video interesting and helpful in some way. I hope you now have an understanding of why the treatments that you're using at the moment aren't necessarily working the way that you would like them to. And I've steered you in the course of understanding which treatments you need in future to really help fade those dark marks and to prevent them from coming back in the future. Do let me know what you've thought about this video. Also, please don't forget to check out the links in the description box. There is a special one for QURE where you can get 70% off with my code. 70%. It's huge, a huge discount. Please share the love by giving this video a like, giving it a share, clicking on that subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss any future videos like these. Hope to see you all in the next one. Bye everyone.